Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the American Tier 7 Tech Tree Heavy, the T-29, a vehicle which I actually consider to be overpowered as heck. This tank has 10 degrees of gun depression, 310 damage per shot, which isn't anything crazy until you realize that it also has a nearly impervious turret, really strong hull armor for the tier that it's at, and stupid good levels of pen. It's got over 200 millimeters of standard pen, making it even more than a Tiger. And that's really good when you also have more armor than a Tiger. So yeah, the T-29 is definitely not a tank that I would recommend to mess with. Now this game, we are going to go... Well, I was going to go to mid and use my gun depression. Unfortunately, when you get low tier battles, you can't expect your team to be good. And that is exactly the conundrum that we've gotten here, right? We got a Camping Eraser BP-44. Already great. We have a AFK Rammer, but let's be honest, even if that Rammer did start playing, still probably wouldn't be that helpful to the team. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. They have a lot of dangerous tanks. They have a T-29, they have a Smasher. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to wait right here. Even though that bush does give some camo values, I don't think it's enough to stop tanks from being spotted. So I think really the best play to make is to ideally hope that somebody pokes around this corner. At some point, somebody should, right? They got a lot of heavies. They have 4. And we do have our rammer moving up at least, so the rammer can cause a bit of a distraction. Oh my god, I accidentally pressed my... I smashed my hand on my keyboard and accidentally fired. But it's fine. We're doing alright. We have the Sherman Firefly. And I'm just going to move up. I don't really care about the Firefly. We're just going to see if we can get some... Oh, we got the Smasher right there. Nice shot. And the Smasher fires an AP shell. Bruh. What a monkey. That's fine with me, though. We get an easy pen into that player. We aim it on the T-29 who just shot. I got stuck on that little wall. But that's okay. We've already done some stuff. Come on, Smasher, poke it. You know you want to. Thank you. The Smasher's not doing a great job right now, but I'm not complaining at all. We've taken a pretty sizable chunk off of his tank, and we shoot him again. There you go. And now, I think the best play to make is to face hug the Smasher, because it won't pen me. That's definitely the best play. Oh, no you don't, no you don't, no you don't. There you go. Easy. Yeah, the Smasher can't shoot me in the hull at that angle, which means that the Smasher can't pen me at that angle. As I said, the T-29 is ridiculously good turret armor, so it means that any shot that that player was trying to hit me with just wasn't going to pen. So at this point, there's only 2 tanks left. We have the Sherman Firefly, which is right here, who we're going to... was going to try and high explosive, but that's fine. We got a pretty good ram as well out, so I can't get too mad. The player on our team hits him, and 3, 2, 1, boom. Nice 130 damage. Not a crazy game in terms of damage, but not bad either. We did 1855 plus a ram on that Sherman Firefly, so probably just around 2,000 damage. And there you go, 1998. We blocked 1,440. That's because the Smasher bounced me once, and the KV-2 bounced me once. I don't understand how you can be a 55% player and be that bad in the Smasher. My guess is that they have a lot of games played in the Smasher. Well, they have a lot in the Chimera. Actually, not that many in the Smasher. I don't know. I don't understand how you can not know to load gold in a T-29 hull. Oh well. Either way, pretty good game for the first game in the T-29. And even on flat ground, as you saw, like, the tank is completely fine. The gun has really good pen. I didn't have to load a single gold shell that entire battle. In fact, I can show you the pen right now. The vehicle has, yeah, 214 standard and 260 on the gold. I mean, even on a tier 8, that would be plenty pen. And it actually used to be the same penetration that the T-32 featured, but Wargaming actually buffed the T-32's premium and standard ammo by about 20 millimeters on both, which allows the T-32 to now cut through tier 9s quite reliably. But before that, the T-32 actually featured the same gun as the T-29, it just had slightly more DPM. And it's kind of funny when you think about it. It shows you just how strong and honestly overpowered this gun is for the tier that it's at. So here we go. One more game, and we are on Canyon. And this is a map that gun depression is obviously really good on. We've got that 10 degrees, and we have the ability to work a ridgeline with our turret armor. So we're going to do both of those things in this battle, and just absolutely demolish the enemy. So, Let's hopefully do that. We have the EZ-8, the LTG. We got a fine battle. It's another really good matchup. And it's surprising because this is my main account. I forgot to swap back onto my press account before recording, and I was like, I'm too lazy to do it now, so whatever. But either way, let's move up here. And we've got the SU-100 over there. That SU-100 might just back up, and boom. Nice shot. So let me make sure my desktop audio is not too loud, because I turned it up a little bit. Nah, it looks perfectly loud. Alright, we got the KV-1S. Now, the gun isn't the most accurate, as you can see. It does take a bit of time to aim in. But it doesn't really matter. The DPM on this tank is plenty. And as long as you're aiming in, as you can see, it still hits his shots. So, we've already done a pretty sizable chunk to the enemy. We have the Black Prince right in the open. Let's aim it on the side of his tank. Bonk. There we go. 289 damage. Thank you. Got 4 seconds left on our reload again. Let's aim it on the side of the Black Prince. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Nice 290 damage. We're up to 1,500 now. Definitely doing better than our last game, but it's also just because we have more opportunity to deal damage than the last game. Alright, well, let's move up here. The enemy team has a Vindicator, which is dangerous, but at the same time, it doesn't really scare me. And it's mainly because the Vindicator has heat shells as its premium ammo, and its standard, which means it's not really going to pen my tank reliably. This tank has a lot of spaced armor all over it. So we have the T-29 right here. I'm just going to move to the side of the T-29. Get a nice 260 damage pen. We're going to angle from the Black Prince, who doesn't even shoot me. And we're going to ignore that Black Prince really quickly. And boom, a 442. However, we are getting shot a decent amount, so let's just back up a little bit. Black Prince is no longer on me, so we don't have to worry about that. We're going to overpoke the T-29. You can see, even with 214 mils of pen, the upper plate of that enemy T-29 is quite hard to cut through. And it is a great example of why that tank is actually really, really strong. So, we got the SU-100, but I don't care as much about the SU-100, because we can shoot, yeah, our max roll into that Black Prince for 388 damage. We're going to ignore that SU-100 a little bit longer. We're going to aim in a high explosive on the rear of that Black Prince again. Another nice shot, dealing just shy of 400 damage. Now we can aim it on the SU-100, who's right here, and get a easy clear for 250, and that leaves us with the Sherman Firefly. At this point, we have dealt over 4 or close to 4,000 damage. And again, it's just such a good example of this tank. There's so many people that always think, oh, I can only play overpowered tanks if they cost money. And it's not true. The T-29 is legitimately just as strong, if not stronger, than the Smasher and Annihilator, especially when you play it on a ridgeline. At the end of the day, a Smasher would not have been able to work the middle ridge that I just did. And while the Annihilator can, it still doesn't have nearly the turret armor or hull armor that this tank does. So, yeah, the tank's gun, it's pretty average in terms of its accuracy and DPM, but the fact that it has so much gun depression, so much turret armor, and it's mobile, it's got ridiculous levels of pen, I still think the T-29 is one of the most overpowered tier 7s. You can obviously let me know your feelings, comments, and opinions down below, but I really do think that this is a vehicle players should mess around with if you haven't been. If you want a stat pad, if you want to get high win rate, this is a vehicle you need to get your hands on. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.